This video is going to be on how to create an issue, otherwise known as a first report. So when you first log into Safety Culture, you should be at the home screen. Go down to Issues and click on Issues. Then go up to the top where it says Categories, click on Categories, and then let's add a new category. So for this category, we are going to make a first report, and it's going to be in Spanish, and it's going to be called Near Miss. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put a title on your new category, and I've cut real quickly because I've put it both in Spanish and in English. By the way, we're going to make this number 02 in Spanish. So once you're ready, you hit Add the Category. So once you have the category name prepared, you're going to have to identify who is going to get notifications. So we're going to edit the notifications. We're going to come down and we're going to make this simple. You can do it by groups or by users. We're going to do just a simple group here. And we'll scroll down and you can see more by saying click more. And so we're going to have the Ravenna Construction Management and Ravenna Management team be able to see when a report has been issued. So we'll click done with that, and then we'll hit save and apply. Now here, before you click, you can determine what type of email they'll receive. This is just going to be a basic email, let them know that an event has happened. But you can give them a summary of the event or a full detail. If you wanted, you could actually do a critical notification. So if there was like a major event that happened, you could identify as a critical notification. But for these, the creation of this first report, we're not going to do that. So once we've identified who's going to receive the notification when a first report or an issue is created, we want to identify who has access to this issue or this first report. So from workflow, we're going to go again to the top of the screen. We're going to hit access. So currently everybody has access, which means anybody who has access to Safety Culture, this version of it, would have access to it. And we don't want that. We want to limit it to either to Spain or to Barcelona. So for this case, we're just going to limit to Barcelona. So we're going to hit edit. Now you can collect either by sites, which again would be by Spain, Barcelona, or if you have a specific facility, groups, or by users. So I said we're going to do this by site. So in here, we're going to select the site. And within site, we have Americas, and with Europe, we're going to select on Europe. We have Italy and Spain because Barcelona is in Spain. We're going to select down to Barcelona, and then we're going to check Barcelona. Now, the reason is in this specific setup, I don't have any locations below Barcelona. But if you did have a location below Barcelona that you'd want to see this first report or this issue, you would need to take it down to the lowest level of who you want to be able to see the first report or the issue and select them at that location. So what that means is that Barcelona, anybody who's identified as Barcelona will be able to see the report, and anybody who's in Spain or in CTI Europe would be able to see this report. But if I had selected Spain for the report, Spain and CTI Europe would be able to see this report, but Barcelona would not be able to see this report or create the report. So again, when you're setting up one of these first reports or these issues, you need to make sure that the visibility is down to the lowest level of who you want to be able to complete it. So we've selected Barcelona. We're going to select done with that, and then done with this, and save that. And now we're ready to move on. And then we're going to go back to the workflow, and then we're going to continue the process here of our workflow. All right, so you've got fields here, and these are fields that are automatically set up by the system. So we have title, description, organization, image, location, and date occurred. Now I'm going to remove the location. Since we've not broken Barcelona down into multiple locations, we're just going to delete the requirement for the GPS location. And so we'll go ahead and hit save on that. All right, so for the title, that is a required field, and there's no edit you can do to it. The nice thing about this is that if the user's phone is set for Spanish, these titles will automatically translate to Spanish for them. Okay, so for the description, we're going to just do an edit on that, and we're going to make it a required field, and we will save that, and we're going to keep the field enabled. Similar for organization, we're going to make this a required field, and we're going to save it. So if you remember when we did the organization, we did like the management, Ravenna management. That is where that comes useful. The benefit of this is in the future when you want to create reports, you can pull out these first reports by that organization and sort them out easily. We're going to have the image or video where you can add an image or video when you create the first report. I am not going to make this a required field, so we'll just leave it enabled. And then as far as the date, we will make that a required field, and we will save that. All right, here is where you can do custom questions in the next section, and you can have up to 10 custom questions. So, the first one here, we may want to edit this, and we will ask who reported the event. So, the event. All right, I'm going to pause here for a second. I'm going to get this translated, and we'll start right back up in just a second. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've translated that. Let me take out that little bit right there. Now, you have to translate these questions if they're going to be in another language. Just again, if you set the phone, because these are custom questions, it's not necessarily going to translate that for you into Spanish. So we're going to go ahead and translate those questions when we create the first report. Now, you do have a choice here. You can do text or multiple choice. We want this to be a text because, again, we want to know who it is that reported it. We will make this a required field, and we will save it. And then the second question here, we're just going to keep this pretty simple, is what immediate actions were taken. So let me go ahead and we'll do an edit here, and we will add the question, what immediate actions were taken. All right, and let me translate this really quickly. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've done the translation of that into Spanish. Again, we're going to leave it as a text. We're going to leave it required, and then we're going to save that. Now, if we wanted to add additional questions, again, we could click Add a Question and continue on, adding additional questions up until you get 10 questions. Now, the nice thing is if you have, like say the location and you have specific locations set at the site, you could create a multiple choice checklist that would let them only select, say, one of the identified locations. Again, that really helps when you start to sort things out or when you do searches, because you don't have to worry about typo or edits or mistakes that people have made. So with that, we're going to stop here on this. Now, if you say you wanted to link a template to it, so like, hey, we want to do a full incident report, you could create an incident report template, and we'll show that in another video, and then link that here. So once the first report is created, then they could go on forward and link that first report to a full incident report and complete that. So once we are done here, I said we've kind of completed everything we want, then we will go back and just hit the back button. Okay, so now we have finished completing our first report or an issue. And again, if we look down here at the bottom, we will see our Spain number 02, our near miss issue / first report has been created. Now, if you need to go back, you can edit the category and make edits to those questions as need be. So at this point, we are done with our first report / issue. Because we have saved it, it is already published and ready for use. And anybody who is located in Spain and as far as in their user setup or set up for Spain will be able to see this issue / first report. Thank you.